You see it? All right. Hey, Travis.
Good afternoon, Tab.
How are you? How's it goes?
Pretty good for a terrific Tuesday.
Yes, terrific Tuesday. I'm here for
Good, no
that.
complaint.
Yes. So thank you so much for joining me today and being my interviewer. I'm super excited. I know that you are an ambassador for a few brands, and so I felt that you would be able to pull out, what needs to be said here. So super duper excited.
I got you.
Yes. Welcome everyone joining, whether you're on the Zooms or the Facebook Lives or you're catching this later. Hello, and thanks for joining us. All right. I'm ready. I think I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm ready.
You ready? You ready?
Ready. You so funny. Like we cut up bad, but yes, I'm ready. I hope you all have your lunch, have your coffee. I have water today. Last week I had coffee, but this week I have water. So.
All right, guys. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and get started with the amazing, or I should say, talented Tab. We're going to ask her a couple questions. Today's session is about content. So, Tab is always creative Tab. She's always doing something great, coming up with so many amazing tools, techniques, just anything that you can think of. Tab's probably got it for you. So the first question that I have for you, Tab, is how do you go about content creation?
Ooh, we just coming straight out the bag. I like that. So how do I go about content creation? First, I think about what am I creating, right? What is it that I'm creating? Who am I creating it for? And what is it that I want them to do as a result of seeing that content, right? So what am I creating? Who is it for? And what is it that I want them to do as a result of the content? I think many times as creatives, as business owners, as authors, as planners, and whatever you might be doing, you kind of start creating with yourself in mind. And if your audience directly aligns with you, then that's great. But if not, then you really have to think about the person on the other side of the content and what it is that you want them to do as a result of seeing the content. So that's how I get started with those 3 questions all the time, anytime. And I make sure that I pre-plan. I think that might be coming down the pipeline, so I'm not going to drop too much on that. But I think that a major key is to know your why in the content creating, right? Not just, I'm going to take this picture, right? When you're putting stuff out for people to consume, it's like, okay, great, but why?
Right.
And depending on what you do, right? So for me with like lifestyle, that I share a lot of myself as well as my business, a lot of times I pick and choose what I share about me and how I shared about me and how I want my things to look. But let's just say I was a cook, right? People love food to look like they want to bite the screen. Right?
Presentation is key.
Presentation, right? So your food might be the best food the East Coast, the United States, the world has seen, but if you don't present it as such, then we don't know that, right? Your book might be the best book ever, bomb cover, you going through 300 rounds of edits, but if you don't make that marketing look good, who buying it? Right? Because we have been programmed since children to purchase and think and buy and process with our eyes and our mind based on the content. And so I approach content from that aspect. Like, how do I make sure the person reading this or seeing this wants it? They either want to know more, they want to buy, they want to know what's on the other side of that call when I'm posting about my strategy sessions. So you just make people want more. That's how I get started. Like, how do I make someone be like, I just gotta have it, I gotta know about it. For events, I gotta be there. It's like building that anticipation. just like Kellogg's does with the cereal. Like the kid eating that cereal is so into it that you don't want them Fruit Loops, but you gonna get them.
Absolutely. So with that, because Fruit Loops is not Fruit Rings, they're two different things. You have to definitely make sure that your content stands above. You're catering, like you said, to your audience. So with that, how long would you say it takes you to create content? Or do you have reoccurring content? Or you just, I'm going to do this for the week? Or do I, let me plan ahead, as you stated?
Let me plan ahead. How long does it take? It takes as long as it needs to take, right? So if I am just like, okay, I'm gonna create some content, right? I might spend an hour, 2 hours videoing, or an hour or 2 hours going through photos that I've already taken. Because a big piece of content planning is having backstock, right? Who knew a pandemic was coming? Not I, right? Not you, not anyone joining us. Let us know where you're joining from too, and what you do, what you create content for, so that I can tailor some of these answers and questions and stuff to you. But when I think about the time, it's like, let me go back and see what I already got, right? Because I remember when I was on that trip, or I was in that hotel room, or I was doing this speech, there was content captured, right? There was a photo, there was a video, there was something captured. So I got that in backstock. Let me figure out how to fit that into the plan for this week or this month. I love planning for the month, for the quarter, for the year. And then getting that down to like by the week, right? So that it's still flexible, it's still loose, it has room to get like some real live in time content weaved in there. But the big key is have something to go through, and then you could really knock out scheduling for your week in an hour, 2 hours. Say you don't have any content, maybe 3 to 5 hours, so that you have time to create it. If you need to edit it, because depending on what you're creating for, you may be editing. If you are doing just like raw content, you don't need to edit, then about 2 hours. But if you have backstock and you have a plan, you could a Sunday afternoon with a nice cup of water or wine, hour top, right? Just having together in your mind what you're going to post, who it's for, and what you want them to do. And you good. That's probably sounds a little simple, but there's some mechanisms behind that.
With creating content, and you basically, there's really not a structure in time frame, because it just depends on who you're catering to as the audience, or the content is, what the takeaway for that audience for that particular content is going to be. And you mentioned having posts. A lot of people like to take their selfies, or if they thirst trapping, it might be a thirst trap Thursday. I'm accused of thirst trapping, but who knew? But captions, don't do that, Tab. Captions are really, really, really a challenge for some people. Like, you have this photo, you have this amazing content, but in order to really truly reach your audience, that first sentence is going to be what makes or break the views for your content, the likes of your content, the engagement of your content. So what is captions? How do you come up with these creative captions to engage people, to pull them in and say, you know what, I need to watch this. Let me read a bit more about this. How do you go about that?
So going back to the who is it for piece, right? Who is it for? What do I want them to do, right? So my selfie, my let's just say I'm creating it because I think I'm just looking good. Because right now the sun is hitting me a little awkward, so I look a little dead. But when the sun is hitting right, you're cracking up. When the sun is hitting right and you want to like get it, and you're gonna post a caption that speaks to that, right? You're gonna post a caption that speaks to that. That's more so personal. That's more so a lifestyle. That's more so sharing of self, right? But when you are posting something that you want someone to do something, you want to make sure that the first sentence is captivating. Whatever captivating means for you and your audience, that gets them. Is it join now? Is it would you like to know? Is it hey there? Like, what is your voice, and knowing your voice and how you connect with the people? And then if there's something that you want them to do, you have to tell them. right? So I know we stroll and we see people say, link in bio, DM me for more information, get on my list, different things like that. And you can get really creative with how you tell your folks what you want them to do. But we're humans, all of us, and we're content consuming humans, and we consume more than we have ever consumed in any other time of life, right? This, not just in COVID times, but just the day and time that we live in, the way technology is so accessible, we're always consuming. So you have to, if I don't tell you what I want you to do, I can't assume that just because I posted a picture of my event flyer, if I didn't tell you who the event was for, how to get the ticket, when the discount was going on, if I gave you no instructions, oh, this is a nice event, I'm keep strolling, right? Or the food, back to the food. Oh, that looks great. Do you sell this food? Is this the food you ate last night? Is this your friend's food business? Like, what is it that you want to tell me or want me to do as a result of seeing the food? Because just the picture of the food, you might be the next top chef, but I have no idea because you did not tell me. So another key to your captions is assume that the person reading it has no idea who you are. Right? Especially my business owners, my brand managers, those of you who may create content for other people, assume that this is this person's first time ever coming in contact with any content from this person, this brand, this business, whatever, right? So you're also adding some kind of education piece or some kind of question that makes them want to be like, oh, well, what's that? Right? Like today when I posted a little teaser about this on my personal page, I tagged me and you, I said something about the Unleashed Collaborative, and I made you want to know, like, what the heck is the Unleashed Collaborative, or what are they going to be talking about? Like building some sort of anticipation to get the person on the other side of the screen interested, because 9 times out of 10, even if that person isn't my person or your person or the person for the content, they may know someone who is. Right? So my most 99.2% of my content is for women. A lot of my followers are males. They still engage. They share it with wives, daughters, sisters, friends, colleagues. Boom. But it is intended for you to know with a woman. You see pink, you see purple, you see blush, you see tan, you see, hello, female creative entrepreneurs, right? So you don't really have to question. Ooh, that got southern question. You don't have to question who it's for. When I'm talking about She Is Me, I'm talking about a service for teenage girls. Most of our content on Facebook is curated to people who work with teenage girls or are the parents of teenage girls, because the teenage girl probably is not on Facebook. And even if they are, we want their guardian, their mentor, their teacher, their guidance counselor to consume the content and know that it's for them. Now, let's just say we hop into the TikTok world. Maybe we'll create content that's more tailored to the actual people we serve. But as it relates to our Facebook, our YouTube videos, our Instagram, it's curated with the person in charge, if you will, of that team, not necessarily the team. So I have a client who is doing a children's book, and I asked her, who do you want to be excited? Do you want the child excited? Do you want the parent excited? Do you want both of them excited? Because the parent and the child consume content totally different, right? You dropping the price and all that good stuff. The kid, you got to excite the kid. So the kid can be like, look, mommy, I want to get this book, right? With the parent, you got to let them know why this book is the right book for their kid. It's the same content, it's the same book, but who? So I took a roundabout way to get to that answer of really knowing the who's, the what's, and the whys of the content so that you're able to build a caption that speaks to that person. Because we read captions, even if we've never met the person, we read them in conversational tone. If it's a song, we read it in the song lingo or something. So if I was having a conversation with the 5-year-old and I'm having a conversation with the parent, I'm going to use different language. Your captions should be the same way. If I'm thirst trapping versus I'm working, I'm not going to operate in the same way. So my caption shouldn't be the same type of caption, if that makes sense.
Right. So I'm going to have a 2-part question.
Ooh, two-part. I'm nervous.
The first part of that question is, how much time leading up to the day you're going to post your content, how often should you post?
Ooh, good one. So this one really depends on you and you knowing your, not just your audience, but your analytics. So y'all, I work with people all the time. They get so upset about their likes, their engagement, their this, their that, and the third. Y'all, these social media platforms, okay, Facebook, don't kick me off for saying this. They are a business, right? So all your content, especially if you selling something or trying to get someone to do something that takes them off of the platform, like going to the link in the bio or the link in the caption, they're little robots. They see that, they hear that, they read that, so they know. So that means your 2% that may have been about to see that is now like 0.8%, right? So knowing the analytics behind the fact that like all your followers aren't seeing your post at the time that you post it gives you some leverage to really know that like I need to build up to this. I maybe need to post this on Monday, right? And then again on Wednesday for the event that's next Wednesday, right? But if you don't know your analytics and you don't get someone to help you, y'all, all the free e-courses is out there in these times. Get to know at least the basics of how these Instagrams and Facebooks and such work, so that you can, if you do decide to go into the ads world, you know how to do that. But if you decide not to, you know, okay, I need to post 3 times a day for the next 5 days so that when I drop this post, it can do something, right? Or I need to post a picture of me looking really nice, with the good lighting and all of that so that I can get some traction. And then the next time I'm dropping the event, or the next time I'm dropping the service, or the next time I'm dropping the whatever I want people to do, right? So you really have to study to get those things down. 2 or 3 years ago, it was a one-stop shop. Everybody, you could go find a blog that would tell you post 3 times a day and you'll be great. Post at 12 p.m., post at 4 p.m., different things like that. But now the social media platforms are so tailored to the individual that you have to know your times. You have to know your own insight so that you know when pops off for you. Just because Sunday at 2:00 pops off for me, that does not mean it's going to pop off for you or anyone joining. So know your analytics, right? If you're building something, whether that's you're an influencer, you're building someone else's brand, you are building your brand, you are doing yourself a disservice by not investing in learning, right? Because we don't pop out the gate being able to afford a social media manager. We don't pop out the gate being able to afford, a virtual assistant, an admin, an intern even. We don't pop out the gate being able to afford those things, but what we can do is pay for a course or a training session or something. I'm sure Instagram even has, hacks and stuff for you to learn about how to read your insights and how to post on contact for your people. So that's a hard one to answer. Like, just know your stuff so that you know when it's your time to post, and don't get so wrapped up in the numbers, right? Don't get so wrapped up in the numbers. Especially y'all that's selling something, worry about your invoices, not your likes. Worry about your conversions, not your likes. If you are worried about the likes and the insights, look at your engagements, look at what your hashtags are doing, look at that stuff. But likes have taken such a different terminology and meaning is what I'm looking for. Likes have taken such a different meaning in 2020 than they did in 2015. In 2015, there wasn't as many people as influencers. There wasn't as many people being paid because of the platform. So you having 200,000 likes, 400,000 likes, all of that, and you weren't a celebrity, that was the way, right? That was going to secure you a bag. Now it don't really look like that no more. The analytics are drastically different. So dive into your stuff. What's the second part of the question?
So after you started talking, me, I kind of changed the second part of that question.
Okay.
So the second part, or the whole new question altogether, you mentioned or alluded to investing in yourself a little bit. So, there are a lot of free things out there right now because of our current situation. So how much, let's say, time and or finances do you invest in yourself to publish content? Like, do you watch different webinars? Do you may take an e-class here? Do you participate in whatever? You may go to a workshop or a conference. What is that component like to this?
Ooh, so for me today that looks like I invest my own time. Since Rona, I used to drive a lot because I was traveling. And pre-Rona, I was also working a contract. So a lot of my time was taken up. So, excuse me, because of my backstop content, I was able to hand that over to someone to let them help me every week with what do I need to put out into the world, right? Since Rona, I've taken that back over myself. So my major investment right now is my time and me flipping through the 15,000 photos in my gallery to put them in folders so that it is more easily accessible. So when I do hand that back off again, I'm able to be like, yo, go to this folder. This is what this is what I need you to do, right? So key to investing, this is for y'all for real. Before you invest in some help, some course, some whatever, know what it is that you want. Right? You may not know all the tech lingo, you may not know the analytics stuff, you may not know whatever. But before you get help, before you take a course, before you spend your time, even if the course is free, know what you want to get. If what you want to get is, I need my followers to be customers, I need my followers to click on my page more, I need my followers to engage more, I need to build my following, I need to make sure that I'm creating content that says what I want it to say, because you're in your head, right? So you might think that it's saying that, but it's really not. Going around to come back and answer the question to how much do I invest? I invest at minimum, and I'm gonna drop numbers, I don't mind. I invest at minimum $250 a month on content, learning, or ads. So at minimum, every month, $250 out of my business expenses is either ads, learning, help, whatever. So some months that might look like me paying someone to help. Some months that might look like the whole 250 goes to ads. Some months that might look like I have all the content, but I don't have time to create it. Can you make these graphics for me? Can you take these pictures and load them into Hootsuite for me? Or you know what? I got all of that. I'm gonna spend this whole 250 on ads, which ads can go into either a marketing budget or a social media budget. It kind of just depends, right? $250 is not major. If you're new, then that's major. If in my situation, that's not major. I've spent way more on social media and learning. I've gone to conferences, I've done webinars, both free and paid, because I remain current also because in another side of life, I help brands with content creation. So I work with some nonprofits and small brands to help them with creation. So it is to my personal investment also to know the trends. That's how I know about the analytics. That's how I know you need to look at engagement, not likes. That's how I know you might need to just get some help, right? You may look at your team and say, especially if your team is just one person, right? And say, it would take me 12 hours to do what social media Susie can do in 1 hour. Social media Susie charges $150 for that 1 hour. If I use my 12 hours to work on whatever my excellence is, painting, baking cakes, making shirts, doing strategy calls, doing finances, whatever it is that you do in your stuff, you're an influencer and you create videos, you could be creating videos for 12 hours. If it's going to take you 12 hours to create the content, go find social media Susie who can do it in one. And you maybe need to spend 12 hours one time to get your life together, to figure out how to get Susie to help you. But make that investment, right? You can learn the basics so you can know what social media Susie is supposed to be doing. but don't spend too much time operating in something that is not your excellence, that you're not passionate about. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I said it once, I'm gonna say it again. I hope Facebook don't kick us off. It's a business. They're a business. They are a business. So if you aren't paying to play, your conversions are not going to look the way you think that they're supposed to look. Like, dang, I spent all that time creating content. I got 4 likes, right? I posted that event 5 times. I've only sold 1 ticket or no tickets, right? I posted that painting. Nobody's even asked about it. To be honest, y'all, nobody on your timeline might not have even had seen it. You know, share your stories. That's a shameless plug. The stories can't help you. But your timeline, your audience, they may have not even seen it. It's a business. It's a business. It is a free platform, right? Y'all see the quotation marks? You're catching this on the replay, or you hearing this? I'm putting up quotation marks right now. Free.
Free.
So coins. I've dropped the coins because yes, it's free. But I've realized the value of social media and the way that it can help me leverage my business as well as what I do in freelance. So it has been worth it for me. For some people, it's not worth it to invest. I strongly suggest talking to a human, right? Paying your money to talk to a human about it, not just shameless plugging for myself, but for anyone that operates in this space. Book you a consultation with a human to help you figure out what you need to do based on, do you want to sell more? Do you want more followers? Do you want more engagement? Whatever that one key question is that you want, go talk to a human. Spend your money there and go from there.
That was a nice little segue. Thank you. So my next question was going to be, how can you coach others to create such authentic and, very creative, impactful, and meaningful content? I also know we're approaching about that 30-minute mark. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to drop those below and we'll be sure to get those answered as best we can.
Yes, we will. Drop those questions, y'all. Drop those questions. Get them in. We will not go too far after 12:30, but book your girl, okay? Shameless plug, book your girl, because one, I'm gonna be honest with you. If I'm not your person, I will help you to find your person, right? You about to get this wrong grammar. I got the keys and the resources and the context for days, okay? 4 days, okay? Pre-Rona, I was the conference junkie, okay? Conference connection networking plug, okay? So if I can't help you with your content and I don't know the answers, yes, I will take your coin for that session because what you're about to get is valuable, but I will not take your reoccurring coin if I can't help you. I run business, I do it all with honesty and integrity. Okay. So if I don't feel like I can help you, or if I feel like, oh, I can help her or him, but I'm not a good fit for them, or I don't have the time, I'm going to let you know. Right. So first of all, book your girl, because I keep it 100. Okay. I keep it 100. Secondly, if you do decide to move forward and work with me, I'm going to coach you, meaning I'm going to give you resources, right? And I'll help you with your planning, but you got to do the work too. You got to do your own research. You got to meet me halfway. If we plan for you to do videos at a certain time so that we could test if that was your time and you don't do it, I did my job, okay? You didn't do yours. And if I don't do mine, you hold me accountable, and I'm going to stay on you. Ask anyone who works with me, anyone who's my friend, I run up in your inbox, okay? I run up in your inbox. Are you following up on your goals? Are you doing what you said you were going to do? I don't have time to play. Even if you paying me, somebody else will pay me too. I don't have time to play with you, okay? So book your girl for those reasons. And how I coach you is literally for this session that I'm planning. Y'all go ahead and mark your calendar, no date, but get ready to pay for it, on how you can create content for 6 months with 3 items. 3 items, y'all. 3. Your phone, okay? Your tripod, and a bottle of water, because you're going to get tired of talking. And if you don't have a tripod, get some books, get whatever you need to prop it up and make it happen. I've been creating content for years. I've only had a tripod for maybe 1.5. Get it done. The reason I say you need the tripod is because when you're out and about in different scenic places, you may not have someone to take your picture. Set the tripod up and the timer. It comes with a Bluetooth remote if you get the right one, but I lost mine, so I just have to use the timer. And create content, y'all. Like it, y'all work with your girl or work with somebody, and then go take all the free courses, the e-courses, the this, that, and the third. But as you invest in yourself and your learning, know why, right? You went, if you went to college, or if you have an associate's, or you went through a training program of any sort, you went with the intention to get an outcome, right? I studied business because I wanted to do business. I wanted to know about business. I wanted to work in business. I wanted to run a business, right? So I studied business. If you go to study, and I niche that even down, I studied hospitality and service because I wanted to work in tourism. I wanted to create experiences, right? You're going to take a social media course or get a social media person to help you with whatever your goal is. But if you don't have a goal, you're just taking a course and getting information to be an information overload, to then get off the course and be like, what is an insight? Like, what is an insight? All right, we got a question, but I'm gonna read it because of time. What is the most important thing to focus on out the gate for a new business that is selling products? Engagement, invoices, etc. Invoices. What do you think, Travis? I'm gonna ask you. What do you think? Because you're the customer service guru.
Customer service. Because if your customer service is trash, you're not going to get invoices. So you have to build up that valued customer service to keep recurring customers, clients, potential clients. Then you're going to land those invoices. But if your business is not focused for customer service and you just all about that dollar, you don't really care about the customer experience, then absolutely focus on getting your money, your coin. You don't want coins, you want the kind that folds. You want big bills. So focus on stacking those invoices and just make sure that whatever your product or your service is, it is going to be valued, and make sure that you stand apart from it. Because Tab gave a good example earlier. She said Fruit Loops. They also have fruit rings. What's the difference? Everybody knows Kellogg's for their Fruit Loops, but you could come up with some fruit rings by, I don't know, let's say I had Travis fruit rings, but if they're not valued fruit rings and nobody sees the quality in that, they're gonna stick with what they know, which is Fruit Loops. So you have to set yourself apart. You have to raise the bar for yourself and stand out and make sure that you're not just, oh, well, I had a little bit of free time, so I create a hobby, but I'm going to turn that hobby into a business. If you go that approach, make sure that it's going to be effective and efficient. That's it.
Drops gems. So we about to play a little volleyball, right? We about to play a little volleyball. He just hit it, and we about to take it over the net, right? Somebody else does what you do. A few somebody else's do what you do. You're not the only one who do what you do or can do what you do, right? Let your customer service, your personality, the way you connect with your customers, let that secure your invoices, right? Let that be the reason why I buy the shirt from you. Let that be the reason why I buy the necklace from you. Let that be the reason that I want to work with you. Let that be the reason that I'm just going to choose you out of the trillion other people that are doing that. What sets you apart, right? What sets you apart? What sets you apart? And in customer service, Travis dropped the gym. So, we're running over. And Travis, if you have to go, you let me know.
Good.
But help me out here with customer service goals before and beyond the sale, right? How do you treat me before, right? A lot of people, I was one, a lot of my business and personal kind of intertwines, because I realized that in these interwebs, people can find you. So it don't matter. I was not necessarily a different person anywhere else, but I just thought that everything needed to be separate. And it can be, just really depends on what you're doing. But at the end of the day, if you own anything or you're trying to establish anything, who you are and what you put out represents you. So your customer service, when I say before, it's even in, you may be just so disgruntled with a client and you want to get on the book of faces and lay them out. Don't do it. Just don't do it, right? Now you can get on there and say, you know, I'm frustrated, right? I'm very frustrated. Let me tell you about what happened. It's all in the presentation, just like the food. It's all in the presentation. I don't mind seeing business owners share their frustrations because people need to know, other business owners need to know, and consumers who do not run businesses just don't get it. They don't know. I get mad. Stop putting all Black businesses, all female businesses, all minority businesses in a pot, right? We don't go around and saying, I'm not going to support white businesses because my fries were wrong. You don't go saying that. So why do you need to go say, I'm not going to support Black businesses because Taps shipped the shirt late? Don't say that. Say that I'm upset with Tabitha and her business because my shirt was late. Identify what you're mad about. On the business side, say it. You know, I'm very frustrated. This happened to me with a client. I wish they would have handled it this way, or I wish I would have handled it this way. Or you know what? If I was who I used to be, I might act out of character, right? But don't get on there ranting about the person, because Sally Joe, who's never bought from you, who was just about to go on your website, reads that, and you've tarnished the customer service before y'all even had a sale. Y'all ain't even had a deal yet, and you've messed it up, right? You've ruined it. And
even further, speak about how you feel about your experience. Like, if you don't talk about you not appreciating how Tab handled her customer service as the example, don't just go bash her before you had the opportunity to speak about how you feel. Because I could be upset all day long, but if I didn't speak to Tab, and she may not be cognizant of my experience because I have not spoken about it. She may not be aware that that was my experience with her business because she may not have that other experience with other customers and clients. So speak up, use your voice. God gave you this for a reason. Use it. Speak up about it.
Use your voice. So, Tab, you said that it goes beyond the sale. It does. Let me just drop a golden gem, okay, for the people, right? It is easier to keep a client, a customer, a fan, a supporter, whatever you want to label people. It is easier to keep one than to create one, right? Cheaper to keep them is a fact. It is easier. So once I purchase from you, you probably have my mailing address, my email address, you might have my phone number. How are you connecting with me after the sale? Have you checked on me to see, did I get my product? Do I like my product? Have I told anyone about my product? Have I left a review? Are you telling me about your sales? If you're afraid to sell what you got, you don't believe in it, right? Yeah. You don't believe in it. So you expect me to believe in what you don't believe in? Okay, you tripping, right? No. So how are you connecting beyond the sale? How are you ensuring that you're serving that client, those clients, those people after that? Because even if you have like a one and done type service and they can't work with you, your customers, your clients, your people are your biggest advocates outside of yourself, right? Don't expect your family to be your cheerleader. They 9 times out of 10 don't even understand what you do. For many people, they don't even understand what you do. So they may be proud of you. They may be having your best interest at heart, but don't expect them to be your cheerleader. Create, fans, create people who just love what you do and what you produce, and let them tell your story. Let them be like, yo, if you need to get your business strategy together, contact Tiny Tab. She's going to get on your nerves. She's a little loud, but sis is going to help you out, right? She is worth every penny. One of my clients said, I will skip getting my nails done to make sure your invoice is paid. You know, women love the nails, right? It's not a game when you connect with the right person. It's really not a game. Somebody's shirts that I think I bought a shirt from a business in college, and I still support them when they drop new shirts now, because I mean, it ain't no different than any other black gilding t-shirt with some words on it. But I love their business. I love their content, and they've created a recurring customer, right? And that is what major brands have done for us. They've created us to be major customers, and we support them for years and years. So just because you're a small business doesn't mean you have to think like one. It doesn't mean like you have to operate like one. It doesn't mean you have any room to slack off, because you really don't. You actually have to be more on your P's and Q's. And so that's that on that. Now I have a question for you before we leave. If anyone has a question, this is your time to get it in. I dropped my link in the notes. Stroll up. You can get a 20-minute chat, $0.00, and it's going to be well worth your time. So get on my calendar. Not sure if there are any slots for this Tuesday, because today is Tuesday, so probably not, but next week or the week after. Travis, you do some brand ambassador work, so I hear, right? Skin is popping. We see it. Let us know. Let us know, who, for who, why, right? And how do you go about making sure the pictures are popping? Because I've taken pictures for you before, and I'm so delighted that I got a picture that was, featured or whatever. But what does that even look like, right?
So again, it's about, you said it's believing in the product. The first, you mentioned my skin, so I'm gonna shout that one now. I'm a brand ambassador for Dr. Walt's Natural Essentials. It is a Black-owned business, but we don't just cater to quote unquote our people or the Black community. This product can be used for any and everybody. He's on both Facebook and or Instagram. Handmade locally in Greenville, South Carolina. You visit the website. Additional shameless plug, if you type in Travis when you check out, you'll get 20% off your offer or your purchase, excuse me. So they sell body butters, rose waters, lip balms, coffee scrubs for the body. Hand soaps is the latest new addition. So, we're all about catering to your skin. If you suffer from eczema, dry skin, patches, anything like that, that's what that is for. Another shameless plug.
What was that website again? Bring that back.
It's Dr. Walt's Natural Essentials, but the website is Impactful. So www.impactfulllc.com. Thank you. And then I'm also not advertising, I guess, but it is Corona, and your boy has not had a haircut since March the 29th. Thus, you see these beautiful hats, because I told Tab I will not. And I will not present my service, me, to you all looking how I look. So I'm also wearing this hat. It is by I'm in a fraternity. I'm a part of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. And my frat brother owns this business called Affiliated Apparel. He too is on both Instagram and Facebook. So not an ambassador for him, but I will, if I support you or if I believe in you, I will support you. I support Tab. She has Unleashed. She Is Me, but it's not for me, but I believe in Tab, so I will support Tab. Hence, I'm going to always come to Tab whenever she needs me for anything. I was a little hesitant about, being her interviewer, but I was like, you know what, Tab? Give me this exposure. Showcase me at the same time, because it's breaking me out of a shell. It's about to unleash the content that I have in me to then give to the world. So it's a win-win situation. There's no fee involved, but there is a fee because it's knowledge based. Not everything you obtain you will have to pay for it. Sometimes it will be a benefit for yourself.
Come on now.
There's my little shameless plug there. I'm sure you'll see a lot more from me in the future, dropping a little golden nugget for you. More details are forthcoming in that regard. But that's what I'm gonna say. Me and Tab could go on all day about this content, customer service experience, but we want to be respectful of your time. This is only supposed to be about 30 minutes. We're currently at like 45. Right. Catch us the next time. Ask her to invite me back, and I'll be here to be her interviewer / co-host, I guess, because I'm being asked questions too. But yeah, so Dr. Walt's Natural Essentials. On Instagram, it's Dr. Walt's. That's WALTSNE. But if you visit the website impactfulllc.com, or affiliated apparel for the cap that I'm wearing.
Yeah, so I'm gonna shameless plug those links. When I create a post after this, I make sure I have them all together and all right for y'all. Your boy, Tady and Paige. What's up, fam? My boo, my business buddy. Yes, Lord, that's like my business husband. On there, plugging tadyandpage.com. Yes, go get your book, go get your apparel, go get your things from him. Like the things that he produces in the world, and he is very intentional about the content, not only that he curates, but the content that he shares. And y'all about to make me go on another tangent about what you share also speaks for you because you decided to share it. I don't share things with curse words because I wouldn't type a curse word on social media. So I don't share things with curse words. One might still slip out of my mouth every now and then, but I'm trying to get better with that also. But what you share, if a person sees it on your page, it's kind of like you posted it. So I will go off on another tangent. But what I want to do is thank you, Travis, for taking time out of your Tuesday to interview and really co-host this thing with me. We got to bring you back to talk about customer service. Maybe I can get you and Sierra Young to do a tag team. She is the woman beast at customer service, and you are definitely my boy on the customer service and the service of excellence also. So I think that the two of you could just Oh, I already see it. I see it. Okay. Thank you, everybody who joined us today. I appreciate you having lunch with us or coffee or water or whatever. Or if you are just joining the chat, go back, catch the replay, share this with someone who you know creates content and has been like, man, I struggle with finding out what to post. Man, I don't know when to take pictures. Man, I don't know why my stuff isn't converting. If you know someone, share this with them, share my contact information with them. I'd love to, if not work with them, I'd love to at least have a chit chat to direct them somewhere to help them produce greatness, unleash greatness in their corner of the world. What we put out speaks to us. So stop with the blurry photos. Stop with the mixed messaging. Stop with the, okay? And get some help, especially in these times. This is a great time to get clarity, figure out who you're talking to and what you want them to do as a result of talking to you, and move forward. Oh, it looks like he's on. He dropped, is Walter Lee the owner of?
Yes.
He just dropped it. Yes. Thank you for joining and thank you for plugging. So yes, y'all, why are you creating content? What do you want people to do as a result of the content? Let's get into this content. Have an amazing Tuesday. And until next time, I catch you later. Yay, 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 yay. I don't know why I decided to sing.